What if I told you a group of nomadic horsemen from the windswept steppes of Mongolia rose up to conquer more land than any empire in human history? Not the Romans, not the British, but the Mongols. Led by a ruthless genius named Genghis Khan, they built the largest contiguous empire the world has ever seen. But how did a scattered group of tribes become an unstoppable war machine? This is the story of how the Mongols changed the world, and why their legacy still echoes through time. Welcome to How the Mongols Conquered the Largest Empire in History. Long before he was Genghis Khan, he was simply Temujin, born in 1162 into a small Mongol clan. His early life was marked by tragedy. His father was poisoned by rivals, and his family was cast out by their tribe. At just 9 years old, Temujin learned what it meant to be alone, hunted, hungry, and hated. But the steppes taught him survival, and survival turned into strength. Temujin united warring tribes not by bloodline but by loyalty and merit. He broke down the old clan divisions and promoted based on skill, not birth. This wasn't just leadership, it was revolutionary. By 1206 he had defeated every rival and declared himself Genghis Khan, universal ruler. The Mongol army wasn't large, but it was fast, deadly, and incredibly organised. It was built on 3 pillars: discipline, speed, and strategy. Every warrior was trained from childhood to ride, shoot, and survive. But it was Genghis Khan's innovations that made them invincible. He used decimal organisation, squads of 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000. He deployed fake retreats, flanking manoeuvres, and psychological warfare. They communicated with flags, smoke, and a relay system that spanned thousands of miles, like a medieval internet. But the Mongols weren't just warriors. They were spies, engineers, and diplomats. They adapted Chinese siege techniques to conquer walled cities, and they spread fear. Stories of Mongol brutality made cities surrender without a fight. Between 1206 and 1227, Genghis Khan led campaigns across Asia. First came the Xia and Jin dynasties of northern China. Then in 1219 he turned west toward the Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia. When the Shah of Khwarezm betrayed Mongol envoys, Genghis unleashed his fury. His army crossed the desert, once thought impassable, and destroyed entire cities: Samarkand, Bukhara, Nishapur. All fell. Millions perished. By the time of Genghis Khan's death in 1227, the Mongols had created a vast empire stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. But this was only the beginning. After Genghis, his descendants continued the expansion. His son Ögedei invaded Russia and Eastern Europe. In 1241, the Mongols defeated the Poles and Hungarians, reaching the gates of Vienna. Only Ögedei's death stopped them from taking all of Europe. In the east, Kublai Khan, Genghis's grandson, became Emperor of China and founded the Yuan dynasty. The Mongols ruled all of China. The first time in history it was unified under foreign rule. In the Middle East, Hulagu Khan sacked Baghdad in 1258, ending the Islamic Golden Age. The Mongols defeated the assassins of Alamut, destroyed cities in Persia, and fought the Mamluks in Egypt. The empire eventually split into 4 khanates: the Yuan dynasty in China, the Golden Horde in Russia, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia. Even divided, the Mongol world order reshaped history. The Mongols didn't just conquer, they connected. For the first time, the East and West were part of the same trade network. This was the Pax Mongolica, a time of peace and prosperity under Mongol rule. Silk, spices, technologies, and ideas flowed along the Silk Road. Europe learned about gunpowder, paper, and compasses, setting the stage for the Renaissance. Even the Black Death, which arrived in Europe via Mongol trade routes, changed the course of history. They promoted religious tolerance, protected merchants, and built one of the first international postal systems. Their legal code, the Yasa, emphasized loyalty, discipline, and justice. Though their empire eventually faded, their impact didn't. Entire civilizations were shaped by Mongol conquest, and some never recovered. So how did the Mongols conquer the largest empire in history? It was a perfect storm. Leadership. Genghis Khan's ruthless brilliance united the steppe. Military innovation, mobility, communication, and terror became weapons. Flexibility. They adapted new technology, cultures, and tactics. Organization. The empire was a machine, efficient and scalable. Fear and reputation. One city's fall made 10 others surrender, but above all, it was vision. Genghis Khan didn't just want victory, he wanted unity. He saw a world without borders, connected by loyalty, law and order. And for a time, he almost achieved it. From the unforgiving steppes of Mongolia to the walls of Baghdad and the plains of Hungary, the Mongols rode farther and faster than anyone before or after. Their empire may be gone, but their shadow still looms over history. Thanks for watching. If you found this video fascinating, subscribe for more epic stories from the past. And remember, empires rise and fall, but legends live forever.